Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stocks by Request. As promised, we're doing another edition here right in the mountains in the middle of nowhere as promised. So we give you the latest on what's happening in the PSEI, so you have a firmer condition and conviction of how you go about your stocks and how you go about your trading. So I'll try to make this as brief as possible also because it's about to get dark here and it's a bit chilly already. So as you all know, I posted some videos about the PSEI as well and how it's currently floating and staying above the 8,900 level. So for the PSEI, at the least, if it stays above those levels, there's nothing to worry about. The movement from 8.9 to 9.3 is still pretty much intact. So let's talk about the select stocks that you have posted and you have sent via social media, email, and marvingurmo.com. By the way, if you're new to this format of videos, this will be posted in marvingurmo.com over the next few days. And if you guys also want to stay updated on the latest of all the updates that we're doing, just feel free to subscribe in my YouTube page as well. So a couple of stocks that I'd like to mention. Number one is SM Prime Holdings. SMPH, as you all know, also retraced today. A lot of the stocks have started to drop over the course of the past few days. As you all know, I mentioned this in a previous video, markets and stocks cannot stay up forever. There will come a point in time where people will have to take profits. There will come a point in time where they will have to sell as well. So for SM Prime Holdings, a couple of things. Number one, it failed to break out of the 39.6 resistance level. That's one. Second, it also failed to hold the 20-day moving average, which it broke down already at the failing to hold above 39, and this happened 2 trading days ago. Then something significant happened today as well, where there's a large candle selling that caused it to break down from the 38 level support. So with that, we have some momentum oscillators showing downward momentum for the stock for the short term. So why am I saying this? If SM Prime fails to hold and stay above around 38, I think there's a possible retracement that SM Prime could fall and go back down to 36.8 levels. That's from a quick trading perspective. For position traders though, they may reference a support level also at 36.8. Should the bounce happen there, they may opt still to hold on to the stock as well. For position traders, watch out for 36.8. As long as that particular trend holds, as long as that support level holds, they may still opt to hold. But for quick traders though, there was a sell signal from the failure to hold the 20-day moving average, and there's another sell signal today because it failed to hold the 38 level. So please watch out the 38 level. If it stays above 38 or goes back to 38, movement from 38 to 39.6 is pretty much there. It's intact, but if it fails to do so, the stock may go back down to 36.8 for the short term. Next stock is Ayala Land. It's freezing, wala ako dalang gloves. Oh my gosh. By the way, quick plug, I'll be in Dubai next week in February 9 to 13. We will be there for Stocksmart's UAE. So if you know anyone that wants to learn more about stock trading and investing, or if you're from Dubai, I'm excited to see all of you again. It won't be as hot as the normal summer sessions that we would do there, but at least it's the temperature this Feb would be relatively better also. Now Ayala Land, similar to SM Prime Holdings, Ayala Land failed to hold the 46 peso support level. It was the previous resistance. If you've looked at it from the past, since August, that was the previous resistance level. Now it has now become the support level for SM Prime Holdings. A couple of things though. 2 red candles caused it not to hold that level. With that, I think SM Prime can possibly retrace and go down to around 44.45. I repeat, SM Prime can go down to 44.45 should it fail to go back to 46. So a couple of things you need to know for Ayala Land. Number one, it failed to hold the 46 level. So because of that failure, it could possibly go down to 44.45. Next, if it fails to hold 44.45, possible retracement will be around 43.28, and the strongest support is at 41.45 pesos per share. So for position traders, as long as 41.45 will hold, you're still pretty much okay. For quick traders though, sell signal came from the failure to hold 46. Then the retracement will bring it to 44.45 pesos per share. So that's the second stock. The third one, going back to another large conglomerate, another large part of the index. I'm talking about BDO. BDO has been in a 2-week downturn already, after it failed to break out of 165, after we've seen a resistance develop at 165.25. the stock has started to retrace. It broke already a one resistance, one support level at 157.25. Now if that continues, if that downside continues, there's a possibility that it could retrace further down to 148.65 pesos per share. So I repeat, failure to hold 157, because it broke down from 157.25. The stock can retrace now to around 148 pesos per share. Momentum oscillators and volume oscillators are pointing money coming out with still a direction headed downward. So please respect those levels, those retracement levels for BDO, and you don't want to catch a stock while they're falling. Now, the goal of trading the markets, the goal of technical analysis is you be in the markets when it counts the most. The goal of technical analysis is you focus on the market when the odds are still in your favor. Alright, it's getting a bit dark now. I'm trying to adjust the lighting. Alright, next one is TBGI. TBGI. There you go. Trans-Pacific. Okay, all this is also most likely moving based on sentiment. No, I haven't really seen anything based on a fundamental perspective. Now, this could be just news and speculation and just really price movement. But from a technical perspective, here's the thing: as long as it stays above 3.8, which it did today, a couple of things. TBGI bounced from 255 at the start of the year. Second thing is it broke out from 3.81 today. So the breakout from 3.81, I believe from a technical perspective, if it stays above 3.81, the stock could go back up to 4.5 pesos per share. So please jot this down. Breakout from 3.81, the stock can go back to 4.5. Failure to hold 3.81, it may go down to around 3.2 pesos to as low as 2.5 pesos per share over the short term. So that's for TBGI. Next, VLL. By the way, Stock Smarts Manila will be this March, and I'm actually thinking of doing a South Korea run this April. So if you guys are from South Korea and you want to do a session there, please comment below, or please private message me, and we'll try to do something. I'll probably do maybe a roundtable session first, similar to what we did in Taiwan, and let's see how it will go and how it will progress from there. Two things about Vista Land. Number one, last week it had the large run-up. Yesterday it dropped down. Then today there was a big breakout again. So a couple of things you need to look at for Vista Land. Number one, I think it needs to break out of 7 for it to progress higher. If Vista Land fails to break out from 7, you may take profits for quick traders, but for position traders it just actually turned bullish. So for position traders, we don't have any sell signal yet. For quick traders, failure to break out from 7 will result into a take profit signal, but if it breaks out from 7, target price is now 7.4. If it breaks out from 7.4, the target price will be 8.45. So a couple of things you need to look at for Vista Land. Breakout from 7 goes to 7.4. Breakout from 7.4, it goes to 8.45. Failure to break 7 pesos, it may retrace back down to 6.45 pesos per share for the short term. Next, it's getting cold, guys. I'm trying to rush this. Oh my gosh. Alright, URC. URC had a great run a couple of weeks back, but since 2 weeks ago it failed to break out from the 170 peso range. With that failure to break out from the 170 peso range, we've seen it develop as a resistance, and with that also the large red candle is also attributes to that. MACD is also showing a change in direction downward, a possible downward target for URC is 158 pesos per share. So please take this into perspective. If URC fails to go back above or fails to break out 170, it can go to as low as 158. If 158 does not hold, it can go to as low as 150. But if it finally goes above 170, it can go to around 181, 183 pesos per share for the short term. By the way, all of this is under the context of technical analysis. The goal of this is just really to allow you to be able to chart things. And the reason why I love technical analysis is because you don't have to look at news, you don't have to look at speculation. Lalo na for me, I spend most of my time traveling if I'm out of the country. So the best way for me to be able to analyze charts or to analyze my stocks is really by technical analysis. I believe that's the only way for me to have a shot, to have a chance to be able to trade the markets with confidence. So if you guys are busy and you don't like speculation, you don't like news, try technicals, try charts. It will change your life. It will change the way you do things as well. Alright, and I really love what I do. I really love sharing about stocks now. So anytime, anywhere, wherever, in the beach, in the mountains, in the snow, I'll do this because I love it. Next one, now telecoms. Right now there. Okay, now as you all know, just broke out 2 days ago. So interesting thing for you to watch now for this breakout to continue to progress. All momentum oscillators are still showing that the price direction is still moving up. We still haven't seen any form of correction. We still haven't seen any sort of reversal pattern start to emerge. However, please take note of this. If we want the breakout to progress further, now must stay above 6. If now fails to stay above 6, it could retrace to 4 pesos per share. I repeat, if now fails to stay above 6, it could retrace to 4 pesos per share. But if it breaks out of 6 or stays above 6, possible target price for now could be at around 8 pesos per share. So for those watching now, this is for a quick trading perspective. I'm not too sure about the fundamentals about this. This is just fueled by news. It's fueled by a possibility of a third telco player. But if it stays above 6, it could go to 8. Fails to hold 6, it could go back to 4 pesos per share. So again, our goal as stock market traders and investors is to just follow the charts, maximize our gains. If the charts are telling us ready to sell, my suggestion is you sell. Do not just hold on to the stock just because of hope. You have to remember this, and I say this all the time. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is not something that you can pin buy and sell signals for. Alright, so we've talked about SM Prime, Ali. We've talked about the index also at the start. BDO, TBGI, Vista Land, URC. Now I'll end this with 3 more stocks, and I want to talk about a casino stock, which is Bloomberry. If you have Bloom, please comment below. This is not a Facebook live session because I know most of you guys are already asleep at this point in time. It's 2 a.m. Manila time, so I'm doing this, but I'll post this later, probably 7 a.m. Manila time, so you guys get to see it as well. So Bloom naman has broken out also 3 trading days ago with a large green candle. All oscillators, short, mid, and long term, is still bullish, although it now has 2 days of selling, 1 short candle and 1 larger candle. But in spite of that, we still have bullish undertone. So for those who are watching Bloom, one thing that you need to watch out for is the support level at 11.95, somewhere around 12. If it stays around 11.95, stays above 12, it's still pretty much fair game for Bloom. It still pretty much has a chance to go up, still pretty much has a chance to progress further. So all short and mid-term oscillators are still bullish as of this point in time. I repeat, all short, mid and long-term oscillators are still bullish for Bloom. So if it stays above 12, please take note of this. Target price is 13.45 pesos per share. I repeat, if it stays above 12, target price is 13.45 pesos per share. If it fails to stay above 12, I think possible retracement is around 10.911 pesos per share for Bloom over the short term. But for position traders, no sell signal yet is in sight. For quick traders, please watch out for 12. Failure to hold 12 will bring it to around the prices I mentioned earlier. If it stays above 12, first target price is 13.45 pesos per share. Now, last 2 stocks, AGI naman tried to go above 16.4, but after that it failed to break out from that level. I actually thought that if it could break out from 16.4, it could go to around 17.15 pesos per share. But now you're just seeing the stock start to break down. It just hit 15 points. It just broke down from the 15.6 peso support level. No, with that, if it fails to go back from 15.6, I think AGI can go down to 14.8 pesos per share. So why am I saying this and why is it significant? The strongest support for AGI is around 14.8 pesos per share. If it breaks down from 14.8, the stock will now turn bearish. Even position traders, you must stay away from the stock if it fails to hold 14.8 pesos per share. Now, if it goes back to 15.6, if AGI goes back, 15.6 will form a support level, and your target price will be a tradable range of 15.6 to 16.4. But other than that, if that doesn't happen, quick traders, you can stay away until you see support happen either at 14.8. Alright, so 15.6, failure to hold 15.6 will bring it to 14.8. If it goes back to 15.6, AGI can possibly go to 16.4 pesos per share. And lastly, we will end this stocks by request session with Wilcon. Wilcon, as you all know, broke out also 3-4 days ago, as it broke out from 9.5 pesos per share. But today it's experienced a large red candle. With that, a large amount of selling. So if it fails to stay above 9.5, the breakout condition will be to no effect. It could possibly retrace also to 8.8 pesos per share. I repeat, 9.5. If it fails to go back above 9.5, it may retrace back to 8.8, and worst case scenario, it can go back to 8.8. But what's worse from all of it is it nullifies the breakout that we had at 9.5 pesos per share. What's amazing, sana, if it stayed above from 9.5 pesos per share, we would have seen a target price of around 11 for Wilcon over the short to mid-term. But unless something shifts, unless something changes, Wilcon might retrace downward to 8.8 to 8 pesos per share unless we see it stay above 9.5 in the next few days. So indicators though are still showing you that it still has a bullish formation, it still has a bullish trend to it. So we'll see, but please respect the support range at 9.5 pesos per share. So that's it. We've talked about the PSEI, SM Prime, Ayala Land, BDO, TBGI, VLL, URC, now Bloom, AGI, and Wilcon. So it's getting dark. I'm still staying out here until later tonight because I'm hoping we get to catch the northern lights. I'm hoping we see on this very, very clear night, that the aurora will actually show up here. So this is Marvin Germo from the outside of nowhere here in Iceland. I hope this stocks by request sessions help you trade the markets with ease and confidence, and eventually helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Marvin Germo from Iceland. See you all again soon.